As a court case, my lord, just during the short adjournment, there was a scuffle between the prison warders and some of the accused. It's not precisely clear what led or what the nature of the incident is that led to the scuffle. We just thought that we want to place that on record.
Which accused are those?
We saw accused number 3 and accused number 3, 4, and 5.
So they were involved in a scuffle?
Yes, with a prison warder.
With a warder or with warders?
A prison warder specifically. We just saw one at some point, and his colleagues later came to his rescue. But it was a physical confrontation.
Was it?
Yes.
Mr. Mnisi, your client, I'm told, accused number 3 was involved in a scuffle. Have you taken instructions for the court to understand what was happening?
It's true, there was a bit of a noise as I turned around.
Hello?
I'm saying it's true that I had a commotion because I was looking forward, but when I turned around, I saw a gentleman, like this huge gentleman, and he hit accused number 3 with his shoulder. So I don't know how he started, but that is what I saw. He hit accused number 3 with his shoulder. I think in the process, then accused number 3 tried to defend himself. So, but how it started, I really don't know.
Is that all you can tell the court?
That's what I saw, my lord.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I can take further instructions.
Yeah, please do.
Thank you.
My lord, may I also in the meantime
Yes,
take the
yes,
instructions?
even you.
Yes, thank you.
I will do the same, man.
Yes, sir.
As it please the court, my lord. Apparently what I'm getting from accused number 3 is the fact that when it is adjournment, they would then stand up in order to stretch themselves, and at some point they would sit where they are resting their backs. There's a bit of a bench there where they would sit in order to stretch themselves. Apparently the gentleman that I've just pointed out to the court does not take kind to that. And they are saying in each case that is, or he is saying that in each case that the gentleman is here at court, he would command them to sit as they are seated here now, as if the court is still in process. But today specifically what happened, he approached them again and said to them they should sit down as they are seated here, even though it is adjournment. And then according to accused number 3, he then uttered the word, if they do not want to comply with his instructions, he's going to hit them. Mabengafuni ukwenza lokho akushoyo uzobashaya. So then they said, no, but this is adjournment. We are entitled to stretch our leg because we seated here for more than 2 hours. So we can't continue sitting like this even when it is adjournment. We need to stretch our leg. So he did not take kind to that. So then he started to hold him, and then he hit him with the shoulder. Then accused number 3 then also had to stand up to ward off those blows, but by not in a way of retaliation as it would be understood. He was actually trying to ward off those blows that the gentleman here was trying to administer on him. That is the version that I'm getting.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Mumalo.
Thank you, my lord, for the court's indulgence. The instruction that I'm getting, or the version that I'm getting, is similar to the one of my colleague, Advocate Mnisi. He tells me that it was during the adjournment, the tea break adjournment, when he was approached by the member of the correctional services, which has been pointed out by my colleague, to sit properly. He says that they've been sitting in that fashion throughout the adjournments. So what surprised him was that it was only for the first time today that the member of the correctional service has a problem with the sitting arrangement. He then saw the said member hitting accused number 3 with the shoulder to such an extent that accused number 3 nearly fell to him. The said member further dragged him with his leg in order for him to sit properly. He says that he did not take kind of that. That is the only thing that happened, my lord. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Leon.
As it pleases the court, my lord, my instructions are that accused number 5 was bumped by accused number 2 as he's being pushed as the accused number 3 was pushed to him, and he bumped accused number 5. That is all that happened according to him. Then he was surprised because he was not even paying attention what was happening.
So accused number 1 and 2 were not involved in the scuffle.
Not my lord.
Mr. Mgomezulu, your clients were not involved in the scuffle.
They were not involved.
The gentleman there, what's your full name, sir? Come here in front so that I can hear you. Yeah, your full name, sir. Yes. I'm not taking anything under oath, okay? That's why I didn't even want the accused themselves to tell me what has happened. But with you, you're not represented. Yes. So you can tell me, if you so desire, you can tell me what you say happened.
I don't have a problem.
Hello?
I do not have a problem to say that.
Yeah, okay, fine, no problem, yeah.
So, just moments after the short adjournment, all the accused were standing, right? But say 5 minutes or 6 minutes later, you went out. Accused number 4 was sitting. Can I by any chance show how he was?
Yeah, okay, fine.
Actually, he was sitting just like this.
Okay.
So I took some time, maybe a minute or so. Then I stood up and then shouted, Nduli. I'm not familiar with their names. Nduli, you cannot sit like that. This is court. So he was like, no, you're not going to tell me how to sit here. And then I came closer. I was like, no, you are going to sit proper way. 3 of them were howling now. Sinzokshaya, if you start this thing of yours, can I just go back a little bit on the 15th? On the 15th, it was a Wednesday this month. There was an issue of some sort. They started one by one. They seated that way. The fourth suspect was the one who started the whole thing. Then on the 15th, I came and I was like, no guys, you cannot allow each other to sit like that. This is a court. Yes, it is an adjournment, but now you can stand, you can sit like in a proper way, but you cannot sit on top of that like I just showed. So later on, my colleagues, I was talking with my colleagues that, listen, tell me if I'm doing the wrong thing. Are they sitting in a proper way? Then they were like, no, this is wrong. Okay, I let it loose. And I was like, no, maybe when we go down, we need to address them. Now, before we went down, one of them, I cannot recall which one, he was sitting this side, facing that directly. Can I show you? Was sitting like this. I even shouted again. Listen, you cannot sit. This is not the proper way of sitting. Luckily enough, the orderly, the lady, saw it. So now we went down. It was an adjournment again. I called it in the cell. I was like, I tried to stop this thing, and you were howling at me. I was a bit not sure to call you into order in front of the people. So they were like, no, this is not your job. You cannot tell us. Your only job is to escort us to here. Then I was like, that's whereby you are not getting it right. You are my duty as long as you are in front of. That is why I'm forever standing there. I'm watching you. I'm observing. I'm monitoring every movement. So I tried to speak to the orderly, to perhaps speak to the prosecutor or you. Then he was like, no, she's gonna take it out. We were fine with that. Indeed, the following days, everything, before they could start, they would check if I'm there. If I'm not there, I don't know what way they would be. So everything just went well to show that they followed my instruction. So coming today, I called. I said, Nduli, you cannot sit like that. Then they howled at me. Sizokshaya thina if usondela la. Then I was like, okay, if that's the way, you can fight me if you want, but you are going to sit very well proper. Then I tried to pull. Accused number 3 was closer. I went down like I was kneeling, going for accused number 4. Then I saw a blow coming on my way. The first one was accused number 3 and number 5. Number 4, I was trying to duck. Eventually, my colleagues came closer, but now they were all standing. The other 2 didn't do anything. Accused number 1 and number 2. In the nutshell, that's what happened. The other thing, I'm happy that the journalists were holding their phones. I think there's a full clip as to what exactly happened.
Okay, is that it, sir?
That is it.
Mr. Baloi, anything to add or which you saw?
Well, our observation is according to what has just been described now.
What's wrong with the mics now?
I don't know. They are not captured.
Nothing. As we're talking, nothing is being captured.
They sometimes turn right when they are red.
So when they are red like this, nothing is being captured.
If they are captured.
At the moment, anything being
At the
captured?
moment, there's nothing.
Now they are on. Now they are on.
They are on now.
Where do you see they are on?
They are red.
They are red.
And when they are not on, they
Oh, I see. Okay.
yes.
Can you give me the Criminal Procedure Act? It's what section 159 is it?
The proceedings taking place in the absence of an accused.
No. Just how decorum must be conducted in court. Just read it. I think it's down there. Yeah, 159. It's a general application of if proceedings are being disrupted by whomever. But you see here, the problem is I wasn't in court, but I think that injunction is still applicable.
Well, section 159(1) deals with the circumstances where an accused conducts himself in such a way that the proceedings cannot proceed in his
Yeah,
presence.
just interpret for the accused because it's in English.
Is that correct, please? Okay.
Sir, you can go back to your post.
Lana ke inkantolo icela ke umshushisi ukuthi afundeke ukuthi usection 159 uthini ke echaza ukuthi ke uma umsolwa ke eyiphatha ngendlela ke ephazamisana ke noqhubeka ke noma ke no ukuthi ke icala liqhubeke.
So the only relevant section will be
Yeah, fine, yeah.
section 159 in brackets 1. The headings, circumstances in which criminal proceedings may take place in absence of an accused.
Lana ke uyachaza ke ukuthi izimo la khona ke icala lingaqhubeka ke umsolwa noma abasolwa bengekho.
If an accused at criminal proceedings conducts himself in a manner which makes the continuance of the proceedings in his presence impracticable, the court may direct that he be removed and that the proceedings continue in his absence.
Lenda ndawo bayifundela umshushisi ithi uma kuukuthi umsolwa noma abasolwa ke bayiphethe ngendlela ke la engaphoqa noma engenza ke ukuthi icala liqhubekeke liqulwe engekho noma bengekho enkantolo inkantolo ina noma ikuyakwazi ke ukuthi leso sinqumo leso ingasikhipha.
I think that is the
Yeah,
only.
that's okay. And I'm not saying anybody has done anything wrong because I wasn't here. But I've been told that there was some undignified scuffle which took place during the tea break. And my only admonition is we all are adults. We must just behave like adults. That gentleman, Mr. Uvusi, has got a job to do. If he does it obstreperously, meaning out of the bounds of the decorum of the court, obviously he will be wrong. But from what he's demonstrating to me, he's also responsible. And I'm not saying you're going to run away and escape, but we have had instances in court where accused people get out of court and run away. He's got his own brief as to how people must be seated. Are they under handcuffs, your clients? Hello?
Mine is on.
They are all-
Mine is on leg irons.
Hello?
He's on leg irons.
Leg irons, fine, yeah. So let's just behave. I'm not making any finding. That's why I didn't want anybody to swear, to say he's going to tell the truth, nothing else but the truth. So help me God. Let's just behave ourselves. There's nothing wrong with you stretching. You can even jump. I mean, but if the gentleman believes that maybe that is not the decorum we should be adopting, I think he's entitled to have a word with you. But this one of fighting, like in our parliament, and I'm saying it advisedly, because our people watch these things. In our parliament, I once saw a president being rushed by certain parliamentarians to such an extent that there was alarm at parliament and the security had to go and assist the president because it was under the impression that he's been attacked. We don't need that. Ubuntu. I heard you talking about you can't eat before somebody akbekile. Jelang mushroom. When you have a sandwich, you share it with your colleague. The same thing here. If we are all not satisfied with the conduct of Uvusi, or number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, you can resolve that by speaking. Hi Ubulwa. Okay, that's all I'm going to say.
Inkantolo ithi ke kungakho ingaka ibize umuntu ukuthi eze la azoma la ukuthi ke ayizofikelela kwisinqumo ukuthi ubani onecala ubani ongenacala kodwa na njengoba lisetshenziswe ke igama lokuthi ke sibadala ke lana akekho oyingane la uyakhulunyiswana uma kuwukuthi ukhona ke kuyena Mr Jack akushilo kunina ke kuyakhulunywa hayi ukuthi ke manje kuse bese kuyashaywana kuyaliwa ke futhi ke inkantolo iyakusho nokuthi ke uma kwenzeka ke lokhu lana ke ibikade ingekho yona ingakho ke ingenzanga ngalendlela eyichazile ngaphambilini kodwa nje ukuthi asisebenziseni nje imiqondo yethu ke sicabangeke uma kufanele ukuthi into ixazulule ngokuthi kukhulunywe hayi ukuthi kuze kushaywaneke nanjengoba ekuboni eshilo nango isibonelo lesi saseParliament ukuthi asifuni ukuthi kuze kufikelele khona lapho uthi ngokucaceleke unendlela Mr Jack atshelwe ngayo ukuthi kufanele umsebenzi wakhe awenze kanjani kufanele ke naloko sikuhloniphe.
Okay, thanks. Yes, Mr. Mnyeke, do you still have any cross-examination?
As
As it pleases the
confirmed that he is still under oath.
My Lord, I'm about to wrap my cross-examination.
Yes.
Sergeant, your evidence of the 19th, you said the Bao Street at Freedom Park, that is where accused number 2 resides. You said you went there straight and only Sergeant B.B. Mokgoatlheng and Brigadier Gininda went to Pukem police station. Do you remember that?
Bare botlhatsi ba lena ba di 19 lena le la bolela gore le Freedom Park mola mmileng wa Bao ke mo ileng gore Sergeant Mokgoatlheng le Brigadier Gininda ke bona ba ileng ba ya police station le sa gopola le bolela mantšu a we. Yes, I recall.
Ngiyakhumbula ke uma ungikhumbuza ngokufakazi bange-19 ukuthi ke ngikhuluma ngeBao Street ngithi la umsolo wesibili ahlala khona nokuthi ke uSergeant BB Mokgoatlheng kanye naye uBrigadier Gininda ibona abahamba baya police station.
Is that still your evidence?
Le santse le dutse ka ona mantšu
ka re le gore molato go re se go tlhakatlhakane nka no rialo le gona nka lo raksa go pola botse ona ke ile police station or a ke aya na mara go fitla mo re fitlhe.
As this matter has been in a lot of has had a lot of confusion, I could still maintain that we had went straight. However, I know that we had arrived. I do not recall whether we went to the police station or not.
Nanje ngoba ke kube kuningi ke okwenzekayo kubona icala leli ngokuthi mayelana ngaya ke police station ke angikhumbulike lokho ukuthi ngaya yini police station kodwa lapha yana bona ke safika.
And then again on the 6th of November 2023, you gave another version. You said you went to Pukem police station and then you asked for an escort to accompany you to accused number 2. Which of the two is the correct version?
Biale ka di 6 ja November anangwago lena le ile la re le police station la khopela gore ba le thushe ba sepelele lena biale ba nyaka go tseba gore ya botlhatsi ba nnete ke bofeng mo gare ga bo bobedi
Botse ka molao re fihla plekeng re police station
by law, when we get to a certain place, we firstly start at the police station.
Kumele uthi ke khona ke nokunye futhi ubufakazi obushilo ikuphi ke ekuyikona kahle kahle uma ukuthi sifika ke endaweni ethize la siqala khona siqala ngokuthi siye police station.
Ala ka re monagano le ona o na lo fela o lebala o tlhakatlhakana o ka gore re bele o jure bele ke dilo ke lebala gore ke ile kwa ile gore ke ile.
Now, as the mind would also forget due to some confusion, confusion, it might happen that I had forgotten whether I had went there or not.
Okunye futhi ke nokuthi ke ingqondo ke nayo ke inako ke ukhohlwa ngenxa ke yezinto ke ezibayindida ke kungenzeka ukuthi ke nakufikelele nakumina ukuthi ngikhohle ukuthi ngaya lapho noma cha.
And Sergeant BP Mokgoatlheng was here. He even offered his head, her head.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, you're saying Mokgoatlheng was offering her head on his evidence, or on her own evidence.
My lord, the recording is off.
Yeah, I know that. I was just asking.
No.
Did he offer her head because of
No, on
the evidence of Makhano or her own evidence?
On her own evidence.
That's the point.
Yes.
Can we adjourn until the nights are fixed up?